How great is that shot? That graphic of him is by far the funniest one.
I felt like I was being hypnotized, and then it was Oracle. Oh,
The ongoing trend, folks, of this show, opening with another different intro. It continues. You can watch the historical Oracle now on demand, right? No, that's the wrong overlay. Hold up. This overlay. There we go. Um, we're back though. Jaychele and Joe show.
show my
Jaychele.
now.
Yes, you can. Yes, the camera's
What?
up. Oh my god, the new one. Oh, that is actually a pretty cool shirt. Actually,
At the bottom, it says "makes the world go round," and there's different currencies.
Oh, money makes the world go round. That's pretty good. That's actually a pretty good shirt.
Yeah.
Especially for a wrestling shirt. It's a very good shirt, let's be fair. You know, wrestling shirts are not.
I got it for Valentine's Day.
That rules. How was Valentine's Day?
It was great. Dylan did a good job. He's at work right now, but yeah.
Good. Yeah, completely slipped the mind. Usually we do this show on Tuesdays, and on Tuesday morning I reached out to Jaychele and she was like, "Hey Joe, it's Valentine's Day, you fucking loser." I was like, "Oh yeah, good call. We'll do it some other time." So here we are. Jaychele, how are you though?
I'm good. I was planning to do it, and then I just looked at the times because that was Dylan's first day of work, and I was like, if Dylan wasn't working, I would say yes, but it didn't really end up working out. But I'm doing great. I start my new big girl job on Tuesday of next week, so I'm excited.
There you go, folks. The big girl job. There it is. So I would like to note, Jaychele, if you're worried, I did spend Valentine's Day with Oracle talking about 1996 wrestling. So you know, it was very nice. Very, very nice. The way you want to spend life, you know, the Oracle of Wrestling with his internet connection issues. It was a romantic evening.
Was he eating beans?
He wasn't, no. I'm sure he will again before long.
Before long. Joe, you are so British. I think it is hilarious.
Is before long not a thing that you hear often? Oh, really?
You know, I watched the show You, and You is now based in like England.
Yeah.
And there's a guy named like Rhys. I think I can't say his name right. It's like RHYS, but he's
Reese.
super and yeah, there you go. Yeah. See, is that a British thing too?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds just like
you. Yeah, before long, I try and get a before long in every article I do just to pop myself. You know, I didn't realize it was an outline. Now I'm intrigued by this. I know I used to drive poor Alex Palowski crazy because we spell program PROGRAMME, 2 M's and an E on the end.
Yeah.
And Alex Palowski was every time he would have to edit my stuff in like 2017 when that was the gig he was doing alongside podcasts, it would baffle him and befuddle him as to why we feel the need to add letters to the word program. And I had no explanation. I just said, brother, that's how I'm going to type it forever. I'm in rhythm now. It's not going to change. But
yeah.
Nonetheless, we have a lot to talk about, Jaychele. Have you heard? This is a big week of wrestling this week.
Well, the big week hasn't happened. It's the weekend.
Well, yeah, but like we're leaning into it's okay. A big week of wrestling, and we're on our way to the big stuff, right?
Yeah, sure.
We're on our way to. This
journey is our life. We're in the car.
Yeah, we're in it right now. We're in it. We just got started. We crashed, which was last night's Dynamite. We went off the road. Now we're back in and we're ready to roll. Did you know that last night's Dynamite is the second lowest rated Dynamite in CageMatch.net history?
Why?
Did you know?
Wait, what do they hate so much?
I don't know. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at the ratings here. Okay. We'll get into this like more later on the flag show. I don't know what you thought of the show, Jaychele. I know we texted a little bit. To me, it was just like a whatever show. I didn't think it was like terrible. It was just nothing to me. Kind of
just there.
Yeah. And in fairness, I think the last few shows have been crazy enough that I was kind of like, that's all right. I get it. Okay, this show has currently got a 4.86 rating. It has the following rings. Here we go. So the opening match has got a 4.03.
Okay.
The Texas Tornado match has got just a 6.73. Mark Briscoe and Josh Woods, 6.6. Jack Perry and Brian Cage, 5.17.
I didn't even watch that.
Hangman Adam Page against Kip Sabian, 4.69. And the main event, unfortunately, I'm sorry to say, the triple threat with Ruby, Britt, and Tony has got a 3.9.
3.9.
Yeah, I didn't think the match was that bad, to be totally honest. But
I don't think it was a 3.9 bad.
No, I don't either.
I think that they just hate women.
Well, maybe. I don't know. Still at the while we're on the topic, did you see the triple threat from Raw?
The triple threat? Yes, I did.
Yeah. What did you think of it?
I actually kind of liked it. Okay. I thought that they could have did that at like a Mania or something like that, but
what would you rate it out of 10?
Out of 10?
Yeah.
I'm not good with ratings.
What would you rate it, Jaychele, out of 10?
Maybe a 6.57.
Well, it currently has a 6.49, so maybe cage match is fair. I think this is actually it, right? I think people are just really frustrated with the angle, and I think we can all.
That spray paint thing was horrible.
Let's just start there because I know you wanted to talk about something. I don't want to do this, Jaychele. It's
Did
just.
the spray paint even go on her face? No, right?
It barely achieved either part of the.
Well, why would you paint loser on Tony if you're? Yeah. Why? What? I get butt stuff. People like butt stuff. If you're gonna do butt stuff, lean into it. Okay, let that be the thing. But like,
so here's the deal.
Bianca's doing butt stuff. Okay.
Here's the deal. This is one we can talk butt stuff if you want. I want to. This is one I don't want to. There's a bridge I have to cross here that I don't even want to because I was a big proponent of, trying to figure out this Saraya thing. I thought it was worth a try. Big name. I was rooting for her to have a nice run, and I want to stress before we go any further that maybe it'll get better. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. It's not been very good so far. That's a very polite way of putting it. It's been really bad, and I feel it's bad enough that I honestly feel bad even mentioning it because it feels like being a dead horse almost. It's like, what's even the point of discussing it? But man, this is dying out there, Jaychele.
I'm trying to understand if it's partially Tony too. I feel like there's something
it's a weird act, yeah.
I don't know. I don't think the connection between them is there really. I think it looks like a mixed match pairing. But they both, you could make it work. They both like rock music and they both think that they're cool. What? Just have them wear the same cool gear. What? I don't see how they're figure that out, but just don't be mean girls. That's so boring.
This is definitely a factor, right? Tony is not a strong character, and as a heel, that's kind of highlighted even more.
Yeah.
The thing is, Tony can always fall back on him, rightly so. She's a damn good professional wrestler, right? And unfortunately, Saraya has been so out of the ring that even if she still had stuff to offer in that regard, we've hardly seen her wrestle. When we have, it hasn't been particularly impressive. So I think being the stronger personality, Saraya is kind of getting, and again, fairly, the bulk of the criticism, unfortunately. But there's definitely a chemistry element of play. They just don't vibe at all. Tony is so laid back, which means Saraya turns the volume up even higher. It's just.
What I thought that would make more sense is outcasting them and having them be the faces, rather than them being the heels.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess you could have them be the heels, but you should be using Tony's Tony losing the title to Jamie, yada 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 yada.
Yeah.
They're not even doing that. They're just mean girling it, which is so boring.
I just think conception, and I've always had this fear, and on other shows I've talked about it. I didn't want to dismiss the angle, and I still don't want to, because it feels like it still could be a big deal for the women, right? They main evented last night, and there's a chance they even get some big gimmick matches here down the line in the kind of faction warfare arena. I just don't know if I'm into this idea of the outsiders. It's just kind of lame to me. The biggest problem I continually have with it is Tony felt like an AEW wrestler to me.
Yeah.
She didn't feel like an outsider. Her run on the main roster was so nothing that it was she's an AEW wrestler. And I think what's happened here is two things at once. Saraya's promo kind of turned her heel accidentally. And Jamie was turned babyface accidentally by being fucking awesome. And these two factors have come together and collided to create where we're at now, which is very, very unfortunate. Because right now, everyone involved in this feels worse for it, which is a real shame because it felt like it had some kind of potential initially. It's rough. It's a shame. I don't know.
The only good thing that could come out of this is if
Mhm.
they start feuding with Jade,
Yeah,
and
maybe.
Jade gets, risen up, but I doubt it.
Mhm.
But
What is
that's
happening with Jade? What is going on with Jade? Like, what are we doing with Jade?
fighting Burt Vixen on Rampage. Isn't that great, Joe?
I just don't like.
They
Is
don't
she
have a
gonna be on
plan
the pay per
anymore. They
view?
were banking on Mercedes. They were banking on Sasha, and it wasn't happening. So
Oh, there's no doubt that I think this whole angle was supposed to involve her, right? Like that just feels like a lock. I'm just trying to figure out like, hang on, I'm just seeing here. Someone sent me this. Eddie Kingston and Jay White have agreed to new terms in their match at Battle in the Valley. Loser can no longer wrestle for New Japan. I wonder who's going to win that one.
that's why I saw that. I was like, I thought Jay White wasn't even in New Japan anymore because he lost the match.
Yeah. No, the stip was
He needs to leave Japan, not
yeah,
New Japan.
literally leave Japan, never come
Like,
back.
what the?
Yeah, I
What?
don't know. It's a weird deal. Yeah, in terms of Jade, so she has been on the recent pay-per-views, right? I'm not imagining this, am I?
She had Athena. She
Yeah.
had Energy. She had Ty Conti before that.
What was
Then
the
she
last
had
one?
Chris Statlander. Athena, right?
No, Athena was all out. The last one, who was Full Gear? Chat, if you know. Because they usually get her on the pay-per-view, unless I'm mistaken. I think this has been a thing that we've kind of.
Let me see.
Nyla.
Oh yeah.
Nyla. Yeah, and they did the whole thing about her stealing the belt and that whole deal. Okay. So she's usually on the pay-per-view cards, and I bring this up because what in the world are they going to try and come up with her for this one? Because unless I missed it, there is no current feud going. I mean, the Red Velvet thing happened, I guess, could still happen again, maybe. But how many times can she beat Red Velvet? Oh my God, more news. Asuka versus Liv Morgan has been announced for SmackDown.
Oh, I'm watching that.
That'll be real fun. We booked that as like our main Raw program last week, didn't we, or some shit? Who could you wrestle at the pay per view, Jaychele? What are we doing with Jade at Revolution?
Ruby. No, you can't do Ruby.
I think Ruby might be fighting Jamie, honestly.
Interesting. That does
Yeah.
make sense. So
She
then,
won last night, right?
face who? Tony?
I have no idea. I have no clue. It feels like Thunder Rosa may be present in all of this soon, right? That feels very likely to me. After they had a team
Thunder
meeting.
Rosa with Jade.
You could do that, yeah. That could be, yeah, and it might not be a bad idea to kind of.
It would. I think it would cool Rosa off anyway, instead of throwing her back into the program that she had issues with. Put her with
Yeah,
Jade.
that was. Yeah, I was gonna say probably best to get her away from the whole thing, right? Like that would be maybe not a bad idea.
You see, Ibu's tweet, Hangman, about there being thunder in the.
Yeah. He also had a money line in there too, which was shameless. There you go. But let's quickly stick on Revolution because I have a few. I'm just intrigued where you're at on this. Like, where's your excitement level for Revolution at?
On a 1 to 10.
Yeah, go 1 to 10.
3.
3. Yeah, I'm in a weird place, Jaychele. Really weird place.
Because what is it? It's like what, March 8th or 5th?
5th, yeah.
And we're like what, 2 weeks?
Yeah. So this is where I'm at. I think this, other than last night, I think the show's been awesome the last few months. I think it's been really strong. But I was looking at where they're ending up at the pay-per-view, and I was kind of like it's not bad, but there's nothing yet that seems on the horizon that excites me personally.
It
I don't know.
Like the possible options for like people who would excite me are like trapped in stuff that I'm not incredibly interested in, like the Jericho thing.
Yeah,
I don't really care. The Elite versus House of Black, I saw that. Like, okay, I don't know. Yeah, it's good. Like, it'll be a good match. There's just no story because they're doing like the open challenge type stuff with the titles. I wish they would have did something already, but they probably will for the Rampage or something.
I mean, honestly, with House of Black Elite, I'd almost prefer they're probably best not doing a story. God only knows what they'd come up with, you know. Malachi coming up with some sort of fucking basketball law, God forbid. But the match will be killer. That's probably the most interesting match if that's indeed what's coming. Joe and Wardlow again, I'm kind of tapping on. We'll get into Wardlow more later. I did like that segment last night.
What are they going to do with Jack Perry? Or they're
I
not
don't
going
know, because they keep saying he wants a belt, but I don't know what.
I thought that they would have put him in the TNT title match then. I think that's the only thing that makes sense. Or if you give him like
Dude,
ROH.
the way they're featuring Jack, where he's kind of beating the big man, you would guess he's headed to Joe, right? But it doesn't feel like Joe's going to go past Wardlow. So it's like, I don't really know where they're headed with that. 60-minute Iron Man match interests me on the most nerdy level imaginable, where I'm just like, I'm intrigued what that looks like, how they work that match, and how Max does in that setting. That interests me. It isn't, it isn't particularly compelling from a result perspective. I get that.
All the Bryan Danielson matches look the same to me.
That's filth. That was spiteful. Did you have to lash out like that on the air?
I'm not lashing. I'm being serious.
Oh, you lashed. You lashed. Hands up. I'm on the ropes.
Joe, it's Black History Month, Joe. You can't say
that. True. Let me back off. Yeah, I don't know. The Danielson thing has never fully clicked for you, right? Fair to say. Like in ring.
I think when it was like WWE, I was like, okay, that's cool. I just don't have the same appeal for like wrestling nerds. And that's okay. Like I like the Divas era. Yeah, what? We're not always gonna agree. That's okay.
No, I agree with you. I mean, that's part of why we do these shows. Is like, when I say stuff like I'm into a 6-minute Iron Man match because I want to see how they lay it out, I'm very much aware that your response to that is like, why the fuck would that interest you in any way, shape, or form? I say that with awareness. You know that, right? So it's like, this is why we watch wrestling. Nonetheless, we'll come back to Revolution in the coming weeks. Let's look at the Elimination Chamber this weekend's WWE Premium Live event. I just did the fucking Fed bit again on this program. Try to stop that. Oh my God, the ratings are out. Oh no. Oh dear. 824,000.27. That's unfortunate. All right, let's leave that there. Not a discourse I want to have right now.
Not my problem.
Not a discourse you probably ever wanted to have, fair say.
Do I look like TBS?
Exactly.
Do I look like Warner Media? That ain't my business.
All right, fair enough. Here we go. Elimination Chamber. Firstly, how are you? Give me your excitement on that 1 to 10 scale for this show, Jaychele.
I'd say I'm at about a 6.5.
Mm-hmm.
Could be a 7. We'll see that Liv Oscar match. Maybe that will make me a 7. Who knows?
Can we talk about your adaptability here in terms of the scale game? I mean, 15 minutes ago you said I'm not good with rating, and now you've done like 3 of them with real precision.
Can I to an 8? I just remembered Montez Ford is in the match.
There you go. Okay, let's go through it here. Let's talk about the mixed tag match first. We have Edge and Beth Phoenix opposite Finn and Rhea. This has been a fun deal, in all seriousness, right? They've done a nice job with this. I liked the Valentine's Day skit they did with Rhea and Dom on the Twitter gimmick. They've made the most of this. I'm not, by any means a big Edge fan, but I think this will be a fun one.
This is not related to this, but it's related to Edge. Who do you think is going to retire him?
Dax Harwood in AEW.
Are you for real?
That's what everyone seems to think. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Well, so again, I'm gonna. This is my new mission here, Jaychele, is to kind of. I'm trying to be more genuine about what I actually know, because so many people are now doing the thing where they go, well, when they like swirl their mustache and wink at the camera. I'm not trying to do that shit. Like, here's what, about 2 years ago, maybe not that long, but a long time ago, which feels like an ancient time ago, that does. There was a widespread belief that Edge would end up in AEW alongside Christian. I'd say this is about 18 months ago. You probably heard me say that to you, Jaychele, right? It was like a genuine belief across the wrestling landscape. And then the kind of just the root of that story was that he didn't like Vince's creative, and they clashed a lot about the Judgment Day thing. This had been kind of going on for a while. So I guess this isn't even that long ago, but it feels like a long time ago. When Triple H took charge, my understanding was all of that talk went away. It was like not a thing anymore. Mm-hmm. And then recently, Dax did the deal where he said, us versus Edge and Christian is more likely than people might think. And then it seems like everyone's started the thing up again. So my actual guess is it's not happening, but Dax was just popping himself. So to answer your question, I don't know. As usual, I don't know. Where are you at with Edge? Are you interested at all in what Edge is doing at this point or not?
Not this great couple thing. I don't know. I don't want the boring, I don't want the boring long promos. what he just said, I don't like it. He talked too much. He's a nice guy, I bet. He sure seemed like he's nice. He decent wrestler, used to be better, but I will still watch his matches as long as he don't just put him in a headlock for like 10 minutes. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. He's tolerable sometimes when he keeps his mouth shut.
You reminded me. You reminded me of the Grit couple thing, which is fucking incredible branding. Like one of the funniest wrestling names of all time. The Grit couple. That's nuts. That's tremendous work.
Mm-hmm.
So this is obviously a stop for Rhea on the road to the Queen Charlotte Flair.
To WrestleMania.
Where are we at in terms of the early parts of this build? I think Charlotte's done like an interview right about Rhea. Is that all we've done so far? Unless I've missed it.
That's all that I've seen.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. She's probably gonna go to SmackDown, right? I would guess.
Yeah, I think the general plan is that the whole act is going to kind of switch because.
Oh, you did say that. We said that.
Yeah. Yeah, because I assume Ray and Dom are going to work at Mania, right? So they're going to flip. I think the whole act's going to kind of switch over, even if unofficially, because sometimes they just do that shit and don't explain it. Do we assume Rhea pins Beth here?
Probably. I think Rhea should pin Edge. I think that'd be hilarious.
That fucking rules. That she should do that. Finn and Edge is probably the WrestleMania match, right?
Yeah, but that sucks.
I don't disagree, but I don't really know the alternatives for either guy, you know?
What do you do? It depends on Mania at that point, though, I would say.
Yeah.
I think they should do Edge and Bray Wyatt. Just put two matches together so I don't got to see them. No, Joe, just put them together and leave them over there. Leave them over there.
What you meant to say was you think they should do the Grit couple versus Fiend and Fiendess.
There you go, yeah. Joe,
Dave
seems... did it. Book it.
Did it, yeah. Dave seems to think it's going to be Edge and Finn in a Hell in a Cell match. Oh my God. Okay, well, in that case, Rhea probably escapes with a win on Beth, and they keep the Edge Finn situation kind of unclear, right? Would be my guess. It'll be fun, I'm sure. We have a hot crowd. This whole show will have a hot crowd. Let's move now to our friend.
They're in Canada, right? That's right.
Yes, they are, yeah. Main event crowd. The crowd for the main event is going to be electric. Let's go now to Bob O'Neill's favorite match of the night, Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar. Once upon a time, when you were about 12, Jaychele, there was a lot of hope that we would see this match one day. We used to do our blogs about it and such. You know what I mean? We used to talk, what if TNA Wrestling's Bobby Lashley fought Brock Lesnar? They have now wrestled twice. This is the third time, and I don't even know where we're at in terms of excitement anymore. So I'm sure it'll be fun, right?
When's the last time they wrestled? It was Saudi?
Yeah. I
seem to remember an actually good match now. Maybe they'll actually, try to bring it.
Was the last one not good? I thought it was good.
I thought it was there. I don't know. It's hard for me to get invested in like a Bobby Lashley match. I don't know why. I don't particularly mesh with it, but Brock, I do tend to like Brock. So
I remember the first match being the one where Bobby like destroyed his shoulder, and then they did they did the finish with Roman, right? I think
that there's some people for me who I will never see as like an extremely great in-ring wrestler. Yeah. That like I can be like, oh, this match is really good. Mm-hmm. Bobby is one of them. He's just like right there for me. He's just like
Yeah. I don't think you're alone in that. I've always been a fan.
That's what Otis is for me too, actually.
Well, Otis is very good.
I know, but like I don't know.
He should be actually the world's champion, but
are you serious?
Well, no, but it'll be funny. He should just work Japan. He would be incredible in Japan, legitimately. In terms of Lashley, he was a babyface, and then they turned him heel. And then I was told he was still high-fiving the fans, which made me think he'd gone babyface. But he's definitely a heel, right? Or is he a babyface?
The tweener? I don't know. He's Bobby Lashley. I don't think Bobby Lashley, like, the only time he was really a heel was the Her Business. Besides that, I don't really count it.
Yeah, I don't know. And I guess in that sense, Brock is Brock, right? It doesn't really matter. We assume Brock Lesnar is winning, right? I guess.
Yeah, but who's Brock's Mania match then?
I think it's time to chase the IC title, isn't it?
Oh, you do want that.
I do. I would like something nice,
I vote Kevin Owens. But I know you're saying
Kevin's
tag title thing. I
yeah.
know. But what if it's a triple threat? What if it's a triple threat?
Just
You know?
no. We're not doing triple threats. We're not doing it. No more triple threats, 4-way, all of this shit. Not anymore. I'm getting rid of it. I've had enough. You should have saw my face last night when Paul Renee had to say we're doing a triple threat tag, and the Acclaim said it's a 4-way. I said who needs these matches? Why do we keep doing these matches?
I love fatal 4-ways and triple threats, Joe.
Like, that's fine, but you can enjoy them on something that I don't watch.
Should we do the Ring of Honor?
Yes, I'm very excited, but I don't need. I'm very easygoing now, Jaychele. I've calmed down in my old age, as you can see. I am willing to let people enjoy their wrestling. Wrestling is for everyone, right, Jaychele? However, hold up 1 second. However, when you begin to suggest another triple threat main event for WrestleMania, that's a step too far. I plant my foot down.
Threat Mania matches, I will say.
Okay.
I would also like to add, what are the odds if Gunther chops Brock and Brock decides to just say fuck it and actually hurt Gunther?
They're honestly a real chance of happening. That's part of why the match is so awesome. You don't know what's going to happen with Brock. That's the beauty of it, right? Like, he's a mystery. Look at this. Look at Meech lashing out. This is definitely Joey Bang Bang, not Joey Bing Bong. What does that even mean?
Bang Bang.
What does that even mean, you know? I'm sorry, Jaychele, you knew what you were doing with that triple threat suggestion. You knew what you were doing. I see in that grin, you was very aware of what was ahead. But nonetheless, Brock and Gunther, I think, is actually happening, which is going to be awesome. What that means for Sheamus, I don't really know. We'll see. We'll let it play out. All right. Let's move to these chamber matches.
I thought they were doing Sheamus Drew something. Oh, it was with Gunther in that match.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think that's kind of the uncertainty there. I just don't know what else Brock would do. Like, I guess he could wrestle Lashley again, but who needs that? He's in the tag.
Imagine he's not in that tag match, okay?
Who are the Usos wrestling?
What?
Who are the Usos wrestling?
I don't care. It's the Street Profits. Not my business.
Not the Street Profits. Not again. No. I love the Street Profits.
Yeah, they wrestle each other. Then we get
that's quite good.
Then we get Sami Zayn in a triple threat match.
Well, I am into the idea of them having a match with Troy. I do think that's a really cool novelty. And then now they have the different haircuts, you could pull it off too, because that would be a good deal. It'd be a hell of a poster. It'd be good. They're good shit. Okay. Well, folks, this could all age hilariously because there's a real chance that Gunther ends up in the triple threat with Sheamus and Drew, and that could make me frustrated in its own way. So
remember, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna clip this. We're gonna remember my predictions that I made for my WrestleMania matches. Okay. So that was the triple threat with Cody, Sammy, Kevin versus Brock, the Usos facing each other, and Gunther in the triple threat with Sheamus.
Do we have to do the main event triple threat? Can we do another triple threat? Does it have to be Sammy does Sammy have to be in the main event in the triple? I love Sammy. Can't he main event like night one in a tag title match and they have a really great tag match and all right.
Somebody just said the Usos are gonna face each other. I need to see that for my life. I need that in my life. That'd
be cool. I like that. We can do that some other time.
No, we can do that now.
I'm writing it down. Look at this. Joey Bang Bang is aggressive and says no. Joey Bing Bong smiles and pumps his fist. Look, Jaychele knows I've come a long way. I'm a calm and cool head these days. But multi-person matches is a slippery slope for me. I get aggressive, which is well established. It's part of the law around here. Okay, folks, hold on.
As long as Bianca wins and has a big entrance, I would be happy. It don't matter what the rest of the matches are. As long as Bianca wins, I'm great.
Good. That's a good approach. Speaking of Bianca, let's go to the chamber match that will decide her opponent for WrestleMania. We have Asuka, Liv Morgan, Nicola Cross, Raquel Rodriguez, my bad, Natalya, and Carmella.
Yes.
Is this a good match?
Probably not. They should have put in like Piper or somebody instead of Carmella. God bless her, but I don't know. I don't know.
Why
Good
are
luck.
Bailey and Becky not? Like, I know why they're not in it on this TV show. Like, they lost on Monday, but like, why are they not in the match? I feel like they would help this match, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's what it feels like to me. Yeah.
As long as like Asuka runs most of it, like she should probably run some of the gauntlet. Probably, I would guess.
I feel like she has to win.
I think she is going to win as
Yeah.
just like replacement. I mean, Raquel is pretty good, so she could like.
I like most of this lineup, like in a vacuum. Does that make sense? Like, if you just said to me, "What do you think of this talent?"
Don't you talk about Ronda, Bianca? Do not ruin my fucking year. Don't ruin my year with that.
Thanks for that. Don't have an out there offering a comeback on my behalf. There you go. Thank you very much. There you go. Ronda. I don't think it's going to happen. We'll see. I like the individual talent, but as a match, it just doesn't feel very
cohesive.
Yeah, and it's not like a particularly exciting lineup, is it? You know?
That went out the window once Natty got inserted for me. So I don't know how you come back from that.
I don't know what this means because I didn't watch it, but someone tweeted, "Holy shit, Natty's been cooking since she came back." And I fucking pumped my fist in excitement for whatever the fuck that means. It sounded so funny to me, but maybe true. I doubt it.
But I have a question.
Yes. Is it about triple threat matches or?
No. Why is Natty in this match exactly? What purpose is?
Need a real pro. You know what I mean? Need an enforcer. You know what I'm talking about? No, much more expensive pro. I think that's the actual. Oh, it's Canada. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Duh. There you go.
Always do that. Yeah.
Well, duh. Oh, there you go.
I remember when SummerSlam was in Canada, and they had Natty wrestle Becky, and there was a stat before she won the number one contender match, she hadn't won a match in 8 months or something crazy like that. And I guess they just decided we're in Canada, fuck it, you know. But yeah, there you go. I think the match will honestly be pretty good. It just isn't a particularly exciting lineup to me, but
it gives Divas era.
Does it? Is that a compliment though?
No. It gives the end of the Divas era where there's AJ and Alicia Fox is trying her best, and there's a Michelle McCool.
Alicia Fox is trying her best is an elite word phrase in the whole thing. He's I know, I can see in my head what you're describing, and it's just great stuff.
Oh, is it not
No, I'm with you. Yeah, it's fucking great. Okay.
Nikki Bella's Carmella.
A couple of things in this lineup. Do we agree Asuka is winning?
80% sure. Yeah.
You want Liv to win, right?
Yeah, that's a 20%. I think there's a possibility for Liv. I think it's quite interesting, and I think that there's at least a small possibility.
I think Liv is going to kind of have a repeat on the Rumble where she starts and closes a thing and has a big performance in defeat. The name that I circle here in a sincere way in terms of it would be good if they had a good showing is Nikki, right? Nikki feels like she needs a good showing here.
Please no.
I didn't say she's going to win it.
Not win, but just.
I didn't even say she's going to eliminate her. But from a performance point of view, I think it'd be good for Nicola if she had a good show.
From internally, yeah. Booking wise,
well, it's a shame. It's a shame. I was a fan. I am a fan. I like Nikki, but
I'm fine with Eric Young. It's okay.
That was spiteful. That was aggressive, I felt. Now, the triple threat thing, but sanity being brought up at this hour in 2023, that's a little much. This is fair. But I guess what I'm getting at, let me put it this way. Let's be clinical here. Carmella just came back, and Carmella is very much, I think, steady in her role as a support heel character, right? Natty is Natty. I'm leaving that there. Whenever they go to Canada, there'll be a place.
Carmella equals Chelsea Green.
Raquel Rodriguez, whether she looks good, bad, or indifferent here, is clearly someone they want to feature, right? Fair to say. Liv is obviously like a legitimately popular babyface, and Asuka is one of the greatest wrestlers ever. Nicola, I don't really know what she's doing at this point. I know what her role is. I know her character is back to being Crazy Nikki, but she's not really part of the division. Sometimes she stands in the crowd and stares behind the commentators, which was a bit they did.
Put her with Dexter Loomis.
It appeared at one point she's going to feud with All Caps, but then she became Aunt Howdy. So yeah, that's why I said Nikki in particular. But you're right. You know, obviously everyone wants to look good out there.
Dexter Loomis and Nikki Cross versus Rhea Ripley and Dominic Mysterio.
Why are we doing this Dexter Loomis thing?
Because they make sense with each other. Chemistry.
She has been stalking Candice on Raw for 3 months. Someone should call the police. Right? Got a situation on their hands, folks.
Maybe call Indy Hartwell. I don't know.
Well, Elimination Chamber for the United States title. Austin Theory, Seth freaking Rollins, John Gargano, Bronson Reed, or as he's known around here, Joe Holbert's favorite wrestler, Jonah, Damian Priest, and Montez Ford. Into this one?
I'm so excited. Not for Austin Theory, because I know he's going to win and whatever, but like...
I don't know if he's going to win.
You think he's going to lose? Don't give me hope, Joe.
Well, do you not think there's a chance that like they get the US title out of the Cena match? Because he's going to wrestle Cena, right? I guess. Theory. I don't know who would win. I mean, legitimately, Montez is the most exciting option, right? I think it's fair to say. Yeah.
Well, Bronson Reed, I guess, but...
Well, hold on. Apparently, he's actually like doing a good job on Raw. I saw the match he had with Dolph, and I'm told he squashed Ali on Monday. He seems like he's doing okay. I just don't.
I don't think that that's a depressing men's chamber. I think that's like.
Did you not hear it? Austin Theory, Seth Rollins, Johnny Gargano, Bronson Reed, Damian Priest, and Montez Ford.
I don't think that's that bad. I kind of like Gargano. Austin
Theory, Seth Rollins, Johnny Gargano, Bronson Reed, Damian Priest, and Montez Ford.
I like it.
You still like it?
I do like it.
That's good stuff. Don't lie.
No, I am. I'm excited. Joe, like Joe, I like Montez. I like Seth. I like him. I like Gargano. That's enough.
That's fine. I just don't. I keep forgetting. My bad. I forgot. You're a big Jonah fan. I forgot.
I'm so sorry. A big Jonah fan. And I think you forgot that it's Black History Month, so they should honor Montez Ford.
How did I forget? You're on it, folks. I remember in the summer, Jaychele would message me in the morning. Did you see what Jonah did out there with Toriano today in the G1? I'd be like, wow, like really locked in on this deal. It's just I forget it sometimes. I'm sorry. I do a lot of shows, Jaychele. I think the match will actually be really good. I'm just being silly. I think as much as we have our fun with Seth on this platform, he doesn't seem to ever foul the folks in charge over there at this point on the main roster. So
you got Seth. Montez Ford the weakest worker in the match.
To be clear, that was a reference to the chat, not me. Okay, who we got here? Okay,
that is crazy. That's crazy.
I mean,
you think he's weaker than Theory? Do you actually believe that?
I mean, I can see the argument. I wouldn't personally say so. But what I would say is, I think Montez is like an actual exciting prospect and wrestler because he has like personality and stuff. So it doesn't really matter to me. But I mean, I don't love I do think that there's a much smaller gap as workers between him and Dawkins than people like pretend.
I think recently it's getting smaller. Yeah.
Yeah. But I like to. If you said to me, pick a roster, Tez would be my top pick in this match. Me because too. I like him as an overall act, Like I like his personality and his promo and stuff.
I would go Tez, then I would go Seth.
Yeah, I guess.
No. No,
of course. Like Seth's obviously the number one pick if you were being like, really serious about it. But
well, not for me.
But I mean, whatever. Seth freaking Rollins.
I mean, I honestly think that in terms of potential, I think that Montez has more potential than even Theory, and I think obviously Theory's younger, but I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I think Theory's
Maybe somebody who like electrifies the audience would be nice.
Dwayne the Rock Johnson, Bray Wyatt.
No.
Who do we? So do you think Theory's winning this match? To be clear.
I would guess, yeah. I don't know. It seems boring, but it seems like what's happening.
Yeah, you're probably right, honestly. Cena will probably be part of the build, right? This was the belt that Cena had all that time, and I think it'd be more interesting if they take different. I do think Johnny has a chance here.
Do you really?
I do, yeah. I think they know they need to heat him up a little bit, and I think he's got a shot. I think the match will probably be really good. I don't think it's a particularly interesting lineup, but I'm glad you're excited. Roman Reigns versus Sami Zayn. Big match. One of the biggest WWE title matches in recent memory. We're in Montreal for this one. The crowd's going to be electric. Sami Zayn is one of the hottest wrestlers in the world. Maybe the hottest wrestler in the world. Roman Reigns has been the champion for like 3 years. I think we just went past 900 days, right? 2.5 years. So
900 days is crazy.
Insane. And I don't mean that as a criticism either. I think it's fucking awesome, actually. But this is a massive match. I'm excited for this. Jaychele, where do you stand on Sami versus Roman?
I'm excited. I don't have as much investment as most people because I don't really watch SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
So I've only kind of seen what they've like put online or like on socials. But from what I've seen, I am pretty interested. I don't know. It just feels like it's so telegraphed that it's like, okay, it's gonna be a good match, but like, what else?
So the word telegraph's interesting because I was talking to Matt about this earlier. The confirmed shoot for those of you that want me to respect kayfabe. And he sent me a thing. Dave was talking about Dave Meltzer. It's not Dave Batista. Dave Meltzer was talking about.
Who would assume that it's Batista?
Well, he's got a big movie out right now, Jaychele. I just was trying to stay, ahead of the curve. But
did you hear him say that he thinks he's too ugly to be in rom-coms? I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, he's quite awesome, the Dave Batista, Yeah. He's like actually good too, which is like an insane development.
Right?
It's wild. Dave said, Meltzer said that he doesn't think they should beat Sami Zayn, and he's not sure they will beat Sami Zayn. He thinks they may come out of this somehow not beating him. And to me, it's very obvious that Jey Uso is going to be the finish of this match. Like, it just seems very apparent to me that Jey is going to be the turn, and it'll break everyone's hearts because it appears that he's finally got away from Roman, and he's going to fall in line and betray Sami at the end. And let me be clear, if that's what they do, assuming the execution is just even a 7 out of 10, that will be red hot pro wrestling. I want to see that. That sounds exciting to me. But it does feel, to me anyway, as someone from the outside looking in, pretty obvious that's what's going to happen. What do you think of that as a potential finish?
Meh.
Yeah.
It doesn't excite me that much because like didn't Jay already come back too? Like, wasn't he already in a match?
Yeah, he's back, but they did a segment with him and Sami where Sami kind of said like, I acknowledge you and that kind of deal, and it feels like they're going to do that turn, and then as Don't Have an Actress brought up in the chat, then they'll put the boots to Sami and Kevin will make the save, and that's how they win the show. That feels like what it'll be. Do you want Sami to win?
Huh?
Do you want Sami to
win? I just don't want him to lose like that. I just want
DQ finish.
Not a DQ. I just still want Jay and Jimmy to be broken up. I don't want like that bloodline piece to continue. Like, I don't know how you do that without them still being together, but I don't want them to reunite again.
Yeah, I get that. I
don't know how you finish the story like that without it, but
I'll say this. I think it's the right move for WrestleMania, and I just think the important thing is that you have closure for Jay as a character afterwards. Like, you can't then just give up on him as a character to develop. For the development of his character has to continue. It can't be like it was a plan all along, to sweep me. It has to be more Jay is torn on an emotional level and does the thing he thinks is right. That's the way you have to portray it, I think.
Yeah.
I think if they do a deal where it's like, it was a swerve, bro, I think that's kind of lame, to be honest.
I would be fucking pissed. I don't think they're going to do that, though.
No, I don't either. I think it's a lot more likely that, Jay does the deal and screws Sami, and he has like this really sad look on his face. It's just kind of like, that's what I had to do, that kind of thing, which I think is interesting. And,
you know what they should do? Have Naomi come out.
To do what?
Just because.
And then Liv too. Sammy and Liv versus Jay and Naomi is the match. Yeah, I'm excited for this though.
Just have her be like, don't break up the family.
That could be good. Yeah.
Like, just have her be a fucking manipulator. I don't know. I don't care.
Doesn't
Just
feel like
something good, something meaty. I want it to be a nice steak. I don't want a cheeseburger. I want a steak. I eat steak with vegetables, like Vince McMahon.
Cheeseburgers are pretty nice.
You know where that comes from, Joe? Please tell me you know where that comes from.
What did you say?
I eat steak with vegetables, like Vince McMahon.
No.
That's Sasha.
Is it really?
She was like talking like how she realized her value after she took that break, and she came back and she was like, I don't just take the crumbs. I eat steak with vegetables, just like Vince McMahon. And yes, you should gaslight gatekeep girl boss. Period. That's it. Exactly.
I had no idea that was a real quote. Okay. All right, there you go.
I'm gonna find it.
All right, good. So yeah, I assume Roman's leaving the belt. I assume they do a big dramatic deal. Kevin will be involved at the end. The crowd is going to be electric for this. The heat is going to be incredible.
It's on Stone Cold. The Stone Cold. Yeah, I knew it.
I'm going to have to watch this on Sunday, because we're going to be on the air doing the grin along. So, but nonetheless, I will catch it. So I'm very excited to see what they do here. The best thing about this story, honestly, is I think you can reasonably. I'm done with that. I'm done with the I'm thankful. I'm done with the pizza. I don't eat that anymore. I eat steak like Vince McMahon with vegetables like him because I can be that, and that's where I'm at. The vegetables part is a really interesting sort of.
I don't know.
I like the idea that when she finished saying Vince McMahon, she wasn't certain she'd really hit the point home. She said, with vegetables like him.
I love her.
That's an incredible quote. That's why it bothers me. Like I can't do it. We're supposed to think.
Oh my god. Oh, I thought we were going to talk about this. Joe, can we talk about this?
No. No. I saw 10 seconds. I said, absolutely not. I ain't talking about it.
Oh my god, Joe, that was the most terrorizing moments of my life. I literally sat there. I said, how am I going to do this? How am I going to play this? I can't. I can't listen to that, Joe. I can't.
So my genuine stance is it's like, it's something to pop herself with. God bless, like good shit. Do your thing. But I don't know if it's something I should listen to if it was like it would be bad. But that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. You can't be good at everything. If she wants to do it, do it. There's nothing wrong with that. But I don't think it'll be. It could be quite bad. I fear, based on the 10-second clip that we were given.
Should we play it? I'm gonna find it on Twitter.
Oh God. Okay, folks. Here we go. Here we go, folks. We're about to get a live grin along here for.
This is so bad.
Mercedes Monet's new music on the way soon. New album on the way. If you never brought this up, I would never have mentioned it once on any show. Just out of respect for the sheer concept of it. But here we are. Jaychele and Bing Bong grin along on Sasha's album. Could you imagine? I was just sitting there awkwardly. You'll find it. She's popping herself. Nothing wrong with it. God bless.
Are so interesting. She said, just got a bag. Something trap. She said definitely said trap. Oh, she definitely doesn't trap. Oh. She said just got a bag, drop it in Japan, pull up fans, jump out the stands.
Come on. This is good for her.
She said already did that, do it again. What are you doing again, Mercedes?
Eating steak, Vince McMahon. All right.
With vegetables.
Let's go. let's conclude with that talk. It wasn't the title. In all seriousness, how excited are you for this weekend? Mercedes big match with Kyrie. There you go. That's fair. That's fair enough. Good answer.
No
For those of
words.
you listening, that was just Jaychele just showed her T-shirt, which is featuring Mercedes Moné. Moné is correct, right? Moné.
Yeah. Money.
Yeah.
It helps if you say it like the song. But money. Yeah.
I'm not. I don't think I should do that.
I love that song.
It's not a problem with the song. I just don't think I should. I feel that'd be bad. I feel like that'd be a good fit with my skill set.
Why not, Joe?
Which is something I regularly say to Monty. Okay, quick. Let's do. I'm genuinely excited for this match. It feels like it's been a lifetime since Mercedes showed up because that's the way the wrestling news round works these days. Everyone moves on so quick. And the kind of prevailing perception is that, this is a kind of big moment for her where she has to deliver. And generally speaking, that brings out, a different kind of beast in her, right? Generally.
Joe, this is going to be amazing.
I really think so, yeah.
It's going to be the best match of her whole entire life.
That's a big statement, but more because of how good her career has been. But I think there's a chance, yeah.
It's going to be very hard for her to top Bianca for me, but that's obviously because implications of that match.
Yeah.
They're going to do it. They're going to do it for real.
I think we can definitely agree that this match, if it's allowed to be, is going to be put together with the intentions of what you just said, right? Like, there's giving someone like Mercedes like 2 months to think about what she wants to do with this match. There's probably going to be a lot of ideas here that are going to be incredible. The only slight concern I have is just the ring rust element, which is always a factor, right? You always kind of worry that'll be a thing, but she works so often with folks that I think she'll be okay.
She's in the ring probably at least
right
3, 4, 5 times a week.
It's just you always hear that thing about it's different when you're out there. That's not that's the only slight thing I have, but generally I think this is probably going to be incredible.
I think Sasha's fine.
Yeah, most likely. I think when you
that's so funny. Look in the comments, Joe.
I think when you put her in a situation where it's you have to deliver, I think there's kind of history has proven what she does in that spot, right? Generally speaking. So I'm very excited for it. It's a massive match in terms of, there's a lot of great wrestlers for us wrestling stardom / New Japan, but Kyrie's the biggest name, right? Kyrie's the biggest name. I mean, Kyrie's a beloved pro wrestler across the globe in her own right. So it's a big time match. Where do you think the buzz is at on this right now? Like from your kind of perception of it?
I think it's actually relatively low, to be honest.
It's weird, right?
I think recently, yeah. I think when she first debuted, high, of course, obviously. But I don't know. We'll see. I think that there's obviously going to be people watching and paying attention, but
for sure. I mean, we're doing a grin along for it, so I'm we're watching it regardless. But it definitely doesn't feel. How do I put this, Jaychele? I don't know if New Japan have maximized this moment from a promotional point of view since the Tokyo Dome show.
I don't know if they can.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. We'll see how they. We'll see how they pull it off on Saturday. I do think this is a fair concern. Nothing to do with Kyrie and Mercedes, but the production of those US shows they do, that's always a hurdle and always a challenge. So hopefully they come out of it okay, and hopefully the match is as good as it can be, because if it is as good as it can be, I think we agree it could be one of the great matches and a signature match in Mercedes' career. Yes, Jaychele.
I hope that after somebody posts a picture of Mercedes with Eddie Kingston, I will put on my wall.
That's very cool, right? Those two being on the same show, that's real graps. Who'd have thought it, huh?
I would so put that on my wall.
That's like us doing the, the Hot Ones deal where it's like, look at us, It's like our version of that, I feel. Look at where we've ended up here. Speaking of Eddie Kingston, as I mentioned earlier.
Oh, we can do it. Can you grab the Eddie Kingston off your wall?
Absolutely not, no. I'm not spending the next 15 minutes trying to get that shit back on. You should have saw me when I first put it up there.
Did it really take that long?
I'm so bad at that, yeah.
Oh my god.
Like trying to, lining it up and it falls down and this whole deal. You know what is funny? Like this gift, you got me the Jeff Jarrett one. All-time great gift. Obviously popped me huge. You remember we did the stream reaction on the air. But it always is lost on me that I just do shows on like Wrestle Furious with just a picture of Jeff Jarrett behind me with no like explanation or like people must be like, why the fuck has he got a picture of Jeff Jarrett behind it? Like I don't even talk about Jeff Jarrett on those shows, you know? It's a good bit though. It's a good bit. J1 Eddie Kingston.
I'm sure he would love your fandom, Joe. You should tweet him.
Jeff Jarrett?
Yeah.
Oh, we're good friends. You know, when before we went back to AEW, I was supposed to be his head booker for Global Force 2.0. And, you know, we were talking talent and, you know, Buddy Matthews came up. You know, and I gave my opinion, Jaychele, as you'd expect me to. And we kind of had a disagreement on budget and how much of it should go in that direction. That's what I'm going to say for now to be kind of polite to Jeff. But, you know, I just think Buddy's worth $750,000 a year. And that's just my perception of it, you know, and we're all entitled to our opinion. Jeff didn't see it that way, and we'll leave it there.
You remember Freddie Price Jr. and how you were going to book his promotion too?
I remember Freddie Prinze, yes, Price. I don't remember Freddie Price. No, I will admit I don't. That one's lost on me. I don't remember talking to Freddie Price. Freddie Prinze, me and him got pretty far down the line. You know, the game. This was different with Freddie. There was no issue with budget, but you know, I came in with my yellow legal pad and I sat down with my pen and I said, Freddie, what are we talking about here? And he said, well, we got Wyndham coming in. And I said, well, I mean, you know, I thought about it a little bit in my head and I thought, well, all caps, maybe, right? So I made a little note. I said, who else we got, Freddie? And he said, Killer Cross. And I've just put the pad under my arm and walked straight out the door. Never come back again.
We didn't have our Killer Cross discussion.
Next week. We have to do it next week. It's a good hook too, right?
Fine, yes.
Folks, last night, after Wardlow poured his heart out in a promo segment, Jaychele texted me. And unless I'm saying this was the first text we'd sent during the show, right? This was just out of the blue. Cold.
So, yeah. Yeah.
Jaychele texts me, I would like to have a conversation about Wardlow and Karrion Kross.
Yeah.
And I said, after this promo. And that's something we'll do now next week. But yeah, that was quite the deal. That's one for that's actually Jack Crosby's two favorite wrestlers. That's even funnier. This could actually happen. Yeah, Kingston and Jay could be on opposite the Elimination Chamber main event. You excited for Eddie and Jay? Is that one you're going to seek out or not really?
Yeah, for sure.
Eddie might win a match.
Oh, stop. I actually like both of them. I actually like a lot of the matches on the card. I was just telling Joe before, so.
Yeah. The card is good, yeah, absolutely. It's just, you know, I wish it was not on the same night, but it is a good card.
They like put like all their champions on it against like actually pretty decent people, so.
I would like to know who Okada was supposed to wrestle initially before New Japan got scared that the crew was going to bully them about Mercedes not being in the main event. And they were just like, fuck it, just do Tanahashi. Because it feels like that's what happened, right? Like, it feels like Okada was going to wrestle just a guy. And then that became like a thing. And they did that hilarious announcement. They said double main event, which was fucking awesome, by the way. That's real grabs. But yeah, it's a good card. The only problem with the card is Dax Hall wasn't on it. But what are you going to do? That was you said that, not me. Anyway.
Go listen to his podcast, Joe.
Very good. Very good. Buries Paul Heyman this week. Pump of the fist from me.
I don't listen to it, so I don't know. But he was nice to me.
It makes people very mad, which is always a good sign of a podcast. Simon says, today marks 9 days since the last time we've seen Bob on this channel. Bring back Bob. That might be true. I don't know, but Bob was on the flagship last week, and he just simply hasn't made any town since then. There's no real polite way to say this, and Jaychele can attest. Bob's a piece of shit, right, Jaychele? I mean, that's the best way to do it.
He's a slacker.
He's a slacker, did you say? Yes. He shouldn't be trusted with any kind of platform. He isn't on the grid tonight. Actually, now you mention it, so he's cancelled out. I'm not making it. Unfortunately, we shouldn't do this, but this is the truth. Unfortunately, when you try and steer a ship like this, you know, and you have a guy like Bob who can draw a house without doing much work, much like the Ultimate Warrior, you know, you can encourage their worst habits, you know. I'm going to say this now, and I can't believe I have to bring this up. I'm ashamed to even admit it, but it's the truth. About 6 months ago, Bob said to me, Joe, I don't really want to show up on the program anymore. What if you just put a picture of me in the corner and let people assume I'm there? That's what he said to me, Jaychele.
Wow.
And I said, what would the people do about your face flickering on occasion? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So, Simo, blame Bob. Bob screwed Bob. Right, Jaychele?
Yes.
Bob screwed Bob. And on that wonderful note, Jaychele, do you have any plugs or promotions?
I don't care today.
I
don't care today. Just
at Jaychele with 3 E's.
Yeah.
There it is, folks.
They already know who I am, Joe. I don't care anymore.
You'll be surprised. Sometimes I get those emails of the YouTube analytics, and I'm always fascinated by like subscriber, non-subscriber, first video shit. It's so weird. We did a video a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago. That, it was our usual Twitch show, and like it did like a couple hundred on Twitch, 250 maybe. And on YouTube it had like 300 odd, and it was about Mercedes. And I clicked on the analytics for it, and it was like 15% of the video was watched by subscribers. The rest was all. I was like, what the heck? It's weird, right? Like, because it's not like we have enough views for the algorithm to bump. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Monty tries to teach me these things now. It's very.
Aww.
It's hard. I don't understand. It's too many numbers. Anyway.
Oh man.
On that note, I'll be back tonight for the flagship, 9 Eastern, latenightgrin.com. Myself, Manny the Hooper, and Confirmed Shoot, talking all things professional wrestling. Well, not really, just talking about one promotion really for a few hours. 9 p.m. Eastern time. That's where we're at. We'll see you then. Keep grinning. All hail. Enjoy this outro, folks.